What's up, guys? This is Flatline MMA. My name is Bloom, and we got Broop breaking down UFC 305, Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya in Perth, Australia.
Yes, sir.
First fight of the night.
First fight.
Yeah, by the way, we're going to start from the early prelims and go all the way up from the prelims to the main card, obviously finishing with the main event. First fight of the night, we've got Stuart Nicole versus Jesus Aguilar. Bryce or Broop, what do you got to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of line movement here. I've seen it started with Jesus starting as a minor favorite, I believe 145. The book said on mine. Bet online is what I go by. And I see it's moved all the way to Stuart Nickel, but minus 230. It's kind of surprising, a lot of money flying in. I like the underdog player. I've played a unit on Jesus personally. So
You're an
we'll see.
Aguilar
How about
guy?
you? Yeah, I like Aguilar here at the number.
Yeah, I'm a Nicole guy for sure. I see the hype. I know it's his debut in the UFC, but you got an Australian guy here, undefeated 8-0. He's got like 2, 3 knockouts in a row, something like that. In his most recent fights, Aguilar, he's lost his last two guys he's beat. A couple of cans basically. Both the guys, just a couple of beat up cans that haven't won in the UFC.
That's
Both the guys are
if you
3 and
want to
out.
talk about cans. I mean, your guys being 0-0, a 6-7, a 2-2, a 3-1, a 3-3, and 8-4, and he has 7 fights. I mean, is that not the definition of cans? A 6-7, and you
Well,
want to
you don't
go
know
and
the
you want to talk
local.
about cans? No. You want to talk about cans? Jesus. Let's look at Jesus's record.
He lost to
I mean, he's
Tatsuro Taira.
fucking. Yeah, okay, 12-0 Taitsua, one of the biggest prospects in the UFC, and you want to talk about cans. I mean, this is
Lost,
crazy.
but the two
I
guys he
mean, he's
beat.
beat a 10-2 guy. That's a good win. An 11-1 guy. That's a good one. A 6-2 guy. That's fine. 5-2, 2-0, 1-0. That's fine. You want to talk about cans, and you're bringing up a 6-7 guy. Do not get me started on that.
I don't hate it. I just think the hometown guy that's he's got the power to knock people out. He's got his last 3 fights by knockout. I don't hate it, but we'll agree to disagree. We'll break it back down after this weekend, and we'll see how it goes. We already got a disagreement on the first fight of the night.
How do you think he wins?
By knockout, the guy's got knockout power. Three fights in a row with knockout power in his hometown. I mean, I feel like UFC's giving him a layup here.
Yeah,
Oop.
I mean, Jesus's only 2 losses are by submission. I don't see a knockout coming. It definitely can. He has the potential to, but I haven't seen it enough. I like the odds there. I might even sprinkle a quarter unit on submission by Jesus.
Really? Okay. All right, moving on. Next fight of the night. Song Kenan versus Ricky Glenn. We've got two journeyman UFC fighters here, both coming off a loss. Got the Chinaman versus the, hardcore American here. Basically just a couple washed up welterweights, but should be hopefully it's an entertaining fight. What do you got here, Bryce?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Song Kanon's really came up in the China scene. He fought Israel Adesanya, known China guy back in, what was that, 2016, 2015, lost by kick. He lost to, who is it? Yeah, he lost to Machado Gary, as everyone knows, but he knocked him down in that fight, and that looks to keep getting better and better every day. Lost to Max Payne Griffin, lost to Alex Morano, who looked horrible in his last fight. Lost to Brad Riddell. It's weird that he's fighting lightweights and middleweights in the regional scene, known Chinese men, but whatever. Sankanon, 3-5, 3-4 in his last 7. Not a great record, but I mean, we're talking about Ricky Glenn here. He's fought what? I believe it was Drew Dober's last fight. Got destroyed. That's
Yeah.
not a bad loss. He had a good draw against Grant Dawson. That's looking impressive besides Grant Dawson's Bobby Green loss. I like Ricky Glenn here. Obviously, the odds dictate that. I'm probably not going to play it. I won't put it on anything. But I would say I like another dog pick with Ricky Glenn. I don't like Song Kanon at all.
Another opposite pick for me tonight. I'm going to ride the other favorite tonight, Song Kenan, the Chinaman. I agree. I mean, they're both just a couple washed up fighters, a couple layups for whoever they fight next, either way. But Ricky Glenn's gotten chinned his last couple fights. I don't really hate that. I rate a guy who gets chin back-to-back times. I know they both haven't fought in like 10 months, something like that, almost close to a year for both of them. Both of them haven't fought yet this year. But I just think Song Kenan, the sturdy Chinaman's got something in the bag for a chinny Ricky Glenn.
Yeah, I probably just won't play that fight, but
Yeah, me neither.
I'll probably be cheering for the American.
I gotta assume this fight's going to decision. All right, moving on. One of the biggest favorites on the card: Tom Nolan versus Alex Reyes to cap off the early prelims.
Yeah, it's really a weird fight here. I mean, Alex Reyes fought once in the last, was it 7 years? He lost to Mike Perry back in 2017.
Yeah,
That
that's crazy.
honestly is looking like a pretty good loss looking back. But I mean, he lost to some no-name dog shit fighter a couple probably last year. Lost by left hook. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of him at all. And the other guy, I mean, you're talking about potential. He got knocked out. I can't look too much. He looks wild. He looks like he's just going to go in and try to kill him in or be killed. You can't hate on a guy that does that. Gotta go with Nolan here.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree. Reyes, yeah, he got chinned by Perry back in 2017. This guy took like a 4-year hiatus. I'm sure there were some injuries mixed into that, but to fight that long, then to come back in 2023 and get chinned again, it's not much in the bag for this guy. I mean, Tom Nolan, he's got the hype. He's the Australian native once again. This guy's a huge favorite. He's basically he's another Jalen Turner disciple, 6'3" lightweight. But
Here we go with this Jalen Turner smack talk, bro.
but
This
some
guy, no. This guy Bloom knows I'm a big Jalen Turner fan. Moicano, he didn't care about Moicano. He didn't think Moicano would win at UFC 300. He only picked him because of my fandom over him. And now he keeps talking about it every week. Oh, look at these Jalen Turner disciples. No chin and long. Don't get me started on this fucking. Ugh.
but I think that the length advantage, the hype, obviously, he's just got he's a bigger prospect for sure. I think UFC's just given, they're kind of giving the layups here for the Australian crowd. It makes sense, especially in these early prelim fights. Just trying to build up some guys' names, basically. I think Tom Nolan's got a layup here, just size, power, everything. I think that it's going to be a pretty easy fight for Tom Nolan. I'd say probably wins within the distance.
Yeah, I got first round KO Tom Nolan. Really, the only way you can play it, or you just don't sprinkle anything at all.
Yep. All right, moving on. First fight of the main prelims: Jack Jenkins versus Herbert Burns, aka featherweight Alistair Overeem. What do you got
I
here?
mean, unless we go to Abu Dhabi, we are not getting anything on these cards. We're gonna try to break down a Jack Jenkins Herbert Burns fight. Are you kidding? Okay, let's do it. Jack Jenkins Herbert Burns. Herbert Burns, the chinny tardy is. Let's look at his last three. Lost to Julio Arce, knocked out. Lost to Bill Algeo. Exhaustion from damage. Lost to Daniel Pineda. You saw him in his last fight. Really looked good there. Got knocked out by him in crucifix position.
Got crucifixed.
This is the guy Dana's putting at us. This is the guy Dana wants us to watch. No, the other guy must be good. Jack Jenkins. Sure, he's a real stud. Oh,
I know he's coming off a
what?
loss.
Can't hate on this. He lost to Chepe. Chepe looked absolutely great last fight.
Yeah, last week.
Destroyed Damon Jackson. Yeah, he just looked like a dominant fighter there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, definitely has the needle out. Gotta say it. I mean, no way you can keep that pace for 3 rounds and think, oh yeah, that's just regular cardio. But I mean, you know what? I can't hate on that loss. And you know what? Besides that, Jack Jenkins actually has been on quite the streak before. He beat Jamal Emmers. Thug Jamal Emmers. He beat some other dudes. I like Jack Jenkins here. I honestly like decision. I know that we all like to call Herbert Burns the chinny tard, but I could see Jack Jenkins dragging this to a decision. I know it's going to be a hot take. I know a lot of people probably won't agree, but that's where I'm going here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on this one for sure. I gotta ride Jack Jenkins, another Australian guy. It seems like throughout Yeah, everybody on this early prelim so far throughout the night. I think it's going to be an Australian sweep for the first part for all the Australian natives here. Jack Jenkins, I think's got it. He's a little bit shorter, but he's younger. Dana White, like he said, if you guys watch the Contender Series this week, like once these older guys start getting cut up and start getting not looking like they got anything left for value for the UFC, like he's not keeping them around. He wants young, fresh talent. Only reason he's really around is because of his brother. 36 years old, getting chin 3 times. You're not really recovering from that. You know what I mean? Your career is basically just a downhill slope from there, unless you're Vitor Belfort.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So yeah, we agree on that one, Jack Jenkins. Moving on. Our first 15-minute nap of the night. Casey O'Neill versus Duana Santos.
This guy and his 15-minute naps. Dana over here just loves throwing these in. I mean, you know what? At least he can appreciate the fans' time and let us go away for a little bit. We know what we're in for here. Is there really? I mean, go flip something, dude. I'm not picking this. You flip something, that's what we'll decide. I'm not.
All
I'm
right.
not
Oh, sick. All right. We've got zesty sauce from Burger King that I kept from earlier.
Perfect.
All right.
Love some Burger King.
What side? All right. If zesty sauce lands face up, we'll do Casey O'Neill the ranked. Face down, Luana Santos is taking it.
Yep.
Face up. I promise you, face up. Casey O'Neill defends her 15th ranked spot against Luana Santos. I know Casey O'Neill lost her last couple
putting
fights.
1,000 on Casey O'Neill.
Really, it's just a coin toss.
All my parlays.
Really, it's just a coin toss either way. I feel like all these women fights are. I feel like if you take one big underdog for every fight card of women's MMA, you're gonna hit.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough to break this one down. They both look the same I mean, they both don't look that masculine, which is usually my first factor when going into this. I mean, you talk about champions, Amanda Nunes, masculine. Cyborg. I mean, these women, I don't know where they get them from. I mean, anyways, though, I'll pick. I actually do like, all jokes aside, Casey O'Neill. I did like her in this fight. I have had her in a couple lays. I think the line movement started at Casey O'Neill as a favor, went to Luana Santos. That could be because she's shaking her ass on the internet. I don't know, but I like Casey O'Neill in this one.
Saw that video with Natalie in a drama.
I saw it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I can really see it both ways realistically. I know Luana Santos got some hype. She's on a little bit of a win streak, but Casey O'Neill being the ranked fighter, fighting up in competition a little bit. And, just women's MMA, you can see it both ways. They're both younger fighters, you know what I mean? There's no, like, older, washed-up, angry bitch fighters right now.
Yeah.
But we'll take it. We'll ride Casey O'Neill on this one. Moving on. Back to some real fighting. Josh.
All right, guys, wake up from your nap.
Everyone get off the shitter, get done taking your 15-minute dumps. We got to get back in the couch for this one. Josh Colibao versus Ricardo Ramos. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, Colibao lost to Lerone Murphy. So did Ramos. Lerone Murphy, future champ. Don't care what you say. I know he disagrees. I don't care. I'll debate this all day. I mean, that is the future champ of the UFC. Neither of those are bad losses. I mean, I think this opened up at even. Could be wrong, but when I looked a couple weeks ago, I swear this opened up at even. I see Coulibaly has come out as a small favorite, -140, +120 on the other side. Don't hate the Ricardo Ramos money, but I know he looked really bad in his last 2 fights. He got submitted in both, first round in both, didn't land a strike against Jordan. How can you go with that? Now, at least with Coulibaly, he's only lost to Lerone Murphy and Danny Silva. Danny Silva 8-1, Lerone Murphy 12-0 going into that. And he lost to Danny Silva by a split. Got to go Coulibaly here, even though the line movement would suggest I usually would go with how Vegas started it, unless there was a weigh-in mishap or something. I definitely like Coulibaly here.
I got to disagree with you on this one. I got Ricardo Ramos for sure. I mean, they're both like the same sized guys. I know Ramos has had a little bit of a rougher run. He hasn't looked that good. Charles Jourdain, a pretty crafty fighter, but I don't know. I just got a feeling on this one. That's not really much to back it, but I just got a feeling. I just didn't hate the plus money on Ricardo Ramos for this one. I think that the law of due, he's due to win one of these fights at some point. I think that a close matchup like this against Colibao, I don't hate Ramos with the plus money. I think that it's a pretty 50-50 fight, about as equal to the Casey O'Neill Santos fight. You know what I mean? I think it's about the same. It's a coin toss fight. I'll take the plus money on Ricardo Ramos. Both these guys are just kind of right in like the middle of their careers. Don't really have much going for them right now. Just kind of outside the top 15 fighters.
Yeah, I mean, that's a horrible take. You know, Culibao, he's lost to 3 fighters. He lost to Jalen Turner. He lost to Lerone Murphy, future champ. He lost to Danny Silva. 8-1, lost split there. Arguably, in my opinion, could have got that. But we move. On to the next.
Next, we got a couple fat retards. Junior Tafa versus Walter Walker.
Dana loves adding these. I mean, Junior. I mean, this dude's a shitbag at the finest. This dude's 5-2. What are we doing here, Dana? This guy's who we're gonna watch to get us to buy the pay-per-view.
Yeah, no, this is supposed to be a selling point of UFC 305.
Reese is calling. Okay. Walter Walker. Walter.
I don't.
How do you misspell Walter?
I agree.
His parents. I know. I've seen Johnny Walker. I know they're not the brightest group, but how do you misspell a first name?
Maybe that's what Dana's betting on here. Maybe he'll get knocked out like Johnny Walker in just like one of the craziest ways possible, just to give him a highlight reel that they can post on ESPN, post on Instagram, everywhere, so that people are like, oh, I got to see this. Walter Walker just got knocked out. For all the casuals, they'll just see like some big retard just fell and got
You
chinned.
see that? You see people saying, let me see this new Walter Walker knockout? That's what you think Dana's betting on?
No, I mean like he's getting
Anyways.
knocked out, like his brother.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. He's gonna get destroyed. All right, let's see this new Junior Tafa knockout, guys. Hey, crew, come watch this. Anyways, I actually do have Walter here. He's young. He's younger, taller, better reach, better record. He just lost his last fight, but I mean, is what it is. I got Walter Walker. I think Junior Tafa is honestly horrible.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think they're both pretty mid fighters. They're both just like worse versions of Prime tied to Ivasa. So I agree. I got Walter Walker in this one, to be honest.
That's a really bad take.
It's one of the only Australians I think is going to lose on this card. The only Australian I think is going to lose on this card. Walter Walker, yeah, he's just a bigger dude. Got the length. Hopefully he looks a lot fatter and more retarded than Johnny Walker does, but hopefully he's got some athleticism in him like Johnny does. With that reach, hopefully he just can keep this guy at range, and he should be able to tip-tap his way through this fight and be able to take it home. I feel like Dana's kind of giving this guy a little bit of a hype train booster here, and hopefully these guys bang it out to bring some hype into 305, because I don't think this can be a very exciting prelim.
Yeah, I mean, we're going on a Junior Tafa, Walter Walker, Josh Culibao, Ricardo Ramos, Casey O'Neill, Luana Santos. I mean, this is the same guy that gave us UFC 300, UFC 299, 298, banger cards. I mean, then you feed us this horse shit of UFC 305 and you expect us to eat it? I'm not eating it, Dana. I'm not.
Yeah, I think once the Tom Nolan and the Jack Jenkins get through, it's gonna be a slow night. Like this 15-minute nap. Like
You have an hour dump break, basically.
Yeah, you can.
I'm not saying we don't need it. Some of us do. You eat dinner, watch the Jack Jenkins fight, go take your dump. get back at the main card, sir. Li Jingling, Carlos Prates. Let's go.
Awesome. We got Li Jing Liang versus Carlos Prates. Carlos Prates, pretty hyped up fighter right now. I can't remember who did he just beat. Who did he beat? Oh yeah, he beat Base Charles Radke, one of my favorite guys on the mic personally. One of my fan
I
favorites.
wonder why. I won't say it, but I wonder why. Wonder why this guy loves
Yeah,
Radke.
please watch Charles Radke's last win UFC interview with DC. It's one for the ages. So just on that alone, the hype, the more current, he's been more current, obviously a more active fighter than Li Jing Liang. Bigger, a little bit of a bigger guy, it seems like, younger. He's got a way bigger reach, 78 inches it says here, versus Li Jing Liang's 72, basically 6 feet reach. I'll take the younger, bigger, stronger guy, it seems like. I'll take Prates all day to win inside. I know Li Jing Liang's kind of a little bit of a warrior, but I'll take Prates all day. Especially at
Prates by KO.
minus 380. That's an easy parlay piece right there, in my opinion.
Prates by KO, minus 130.
I'll take that all day. Just
Got that all
money,
day.
I'll take
I
that.
mean, couldn't agree more. I mean, Prates has been on a streak, unlike any other. I mean, Li Jingling, won't say anything bad about him. Still wish he got to show his suit off. Khamzat.
Yeah, hopefully he does get to wear that
hate
suit
you.
at the. Are they gonna do a big panel this weekend? Do you know? I know they're doing like
Probably.
some solo interviews.
I don't know if they really want the China. I mean, they have one Chinaman on the stage with Izzy. I don't know if they want another one with Li Jing, but I mean, we'll see what they do. I don't know how many questions Li Jingling is gonna get in Australia, but
Yeah, that's
who
true.
knows?
Hopefully at least get to wear the suit during the weigh-ins or something like that. Maybe he'll just wear it on the scale.
Yeah.
If he's
That'd
got
be
to
cool.
settle for that, I think he'll take it. Moving on. Heavyweight fight. Tai Tuivasa versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Who do you got, Brute?
Man. The line movement here, about 2 weeks ago, I looked at it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pick Rozenstruik here at this number. I believe it was minus 160, and I really like that. Now it's ballooned up to minus 220, and I still like it. I mean, I'm not gonna switch my view on it, but it's gonna be a striking battle. You're picking the technical kickboxer against the brawler with no chin anymore. I mean, it just is what it is. It used to be the brawler with a crazy chin who will take all the punishment and keep going. This is the guy that knocked down Cyril Gane.
Yeah, knocked out
This is the
Derek
guy that
Lewis.
knocked out Derek Lewis. This is the guy that almost fought John Jones for the belt. They were almost in that timeline. Dana, I know what you think about John Jones. That's all I'm going to say.
Base John Jones.
Anyways, got Rozenstruik here. Just a parlay piece. You really can't play it by itself anymore at minus 160. When I saw it earlier, I wish I would have just put 30 on it, 40 on it, and just rode that out. But now I'll just sit with Rozenstruik in a parlay.
Yeah, for me personally, I've got to take the home team guy here. I got to take Tai Tuivasa to bring it back. I just got a feeling, man. I don't know. I feel like obviously that Tybura loss looks fucking terrible, especially after last weekend on that brutal card, watching him get armbarred in the first round by that fucking inbred retard Spivak. But I'm a Tai Tuivasa guy. I got some belief. I mean, he had some really tough fights that are like, he's obviously got the knockout power, but I feel like when you put Tai Tuivasa against the wrong style, like you put him against a Volkov, that'll keep him at range, or a Gane that can keep him at range. I think those are fights that you know he's going to lose unless he gets a prayer knockout, which, obviously didn't happen. I don't think you can really rate those fights against him. I think you put Rozenstruik in that same situation against Volkov or against Cyril Gane, and he's going to lose anyways. So the Tybura fight was the only fight I really judge as like a pretty shitty loss, but I think Bam Bam's got something in him to do a shoey at home. He doesn't got to travel far. This is home country. I've just got faith that Ty's going to turn it around. Rozenstruik. All these heavyweights are just fat and retarded, so it's almost like women's MMA where it's I'll take the plus money on Tai Tuivasa to turn it around at home and get one more for his career.
Yeah, I mean Rozenstruik. Here at Flatline MMA, we love Shamil Gaziev.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of one.
We love the blob.
Yeah, we do love the Blob. And Rosenstruck's last fight, he beat Shamil Gaziev by retirement. He couldn't get up for round 5. A pro MMA UFC main event
I can't
fighter.
see. I can't see.
And the guy couldn't get off the stool.
You know, he stood
So I
up and
don't
was
know if I
yelling that he
should
couldn't
rate
see
that
in
win.
his inbred language.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I should rate that win, but you know what? Good for Rosenstruck. Beat the Blob. On to the next. He lost to Almeida. No crime. Beat Chris Dawkins. Chris Dawkins loves losing to certain types of fighters. Lost to Volkov. So did Tui. Lost to Blades. No crime. Wrestling. Actually, that wasn't even wrestling. They pretty much struck the whole fight, and that was a really good fight. Underrated in my opinion. Beat Sakai. I mean, looking at it, they're both really even. I just like the technical kickboxing of Rosenstruck more.
Yeah, I mean, I see it both ways. Yeah, I think Rosenstruck's a little bit more technical, especially for one of these fat fucks. But I don't know. I got a feeling about Bam Bam. He's one of those guys that I feel like he can will one home. Moving on. Finally some real MMA fights we got here. Some real good MMA fights. It seems like we've got Mateus Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I want to bet Hooker. Want to pick Hooker. Guys like Hooker have done well against Gamrot. We forget RDA just knocked down and heavily hurt Gamrot. Jalen Turner hurt Gamrot, brought him to a split decision. Jalen Turner, love that guy. That guy is my goat.
Come on,
But
dude.
Gamrot, anyways, Gamrot, see it two ways. Gamrot's either gonna use his heavy wrestling, take him down. Not gonna be able to hold him down, but if he is, submit him round 1 or decision. I'm gonna play probably submission round 1. I can't really bet decision because I believe Gamrot's minus 150 in this by decision, so it's really unplayable. Especially I'm probably gonna sprinkle first round submission Gamrot and just move on.
Yeah, it's another one of those like I could see parlaying Gamrot with a with Protez from earlier. I wouldn't hate that. And then like one other piece there, a couple minus 300 guys, someone else to bring it home. I don't hate it. I'm picking Gamrot too. I just think he's obviously the more technical guy. He's the grappler. Dan Hooker, yeah, he is a battler. He's a guy that'll go to war for sure. A little bit bigger than him, but I feel like Dan Hooker kind of been on a downhill slope since that Poirier fight. I feel like Poirier kind of starched him,
Took
kind of
his
took
while.
the life out of him. So maybe Dan Hooker
Feel
can
that.
turn around. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I know it's not exactly hometown, but New Zealand's about as close as it fucking gets for UFC hometown fight. So I'll go against him. I'll take Gamrot. I think that this is not the easiest fight for Gamrot, obviously, 'cause, he's gotten stunned a couple times, like we talked about, but I think he'll bring it home. I don't think it'll be
And he
a big
beat
deal.
Armin.
Yeah, no, but yeah.
What do you mean no? He beat Armin.
It was a short notice fight.
Yeah, I mean this guy's the biggest Armin Saryukin Glazer you'll ever meet. I don't think he knew the guy
Who else?
before the Charles DuBronx fight, but then he saw that the DuBronx fans are Glazers, and ever since he's been a big Armin guy.
Yeah, I mean,
One fight in.
I respect a guy
He
that's
reps
not
Georgia
afraid
though.
to. I'm not afraid to, you know. I respect a guy that beats the shit out of someone in the crowd before he walks out to a fight. The biggest fight of his life and the biggest card he's ever been on and probably will ever be on at UFC 300.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, we're both riding Gam right here. Moving on. The co-main event: Kai Kara France and Steve Erceg. For me,
Flyweight champ in my heart. I mean, Steve Erceg here.
yeah, I rode
It's
Erceg against Pantoja. Was that a couple months ago now? I rode that in Brazil.
yep. May. Yeah.
I was an Erceg
He's
fan. I
had a
think he
couple
had it.
months off.
I thought it was really
Yeah, I
close.
mean, my heart's with Erceg. If he just kept it standing, dub. He messed up, is what it is. He didn't win the fight, but he is the flyweight champ. We all know who it is. Now, Kai Kara France on the other side, I mean, beat Chinny Tard and Cody Garbrandt. Lost to the terrorist Amir Albazi. And we're claiming this guy is our champ. We're claiming this guy is gonna beat the champ in Steve Urseg. Are you kidding me? I mean, sure, he may have beat the terrorist. I don't see it that way though. I mean, I see Steve Urseg. He's gonna use his grappling. He's gonna destroy him on the feet. Way more power. He's been finished. Will get finished. Got finished by Moreno. Not a bad loss, but to the body. A little soft midsection. I know that myself. You don't want to get hit there as a little bigger guy. But I got Urseg by KO, round 2.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
my
don't
pick.
got a round round play for that one, but yeah, I'm riding Urseg too. I think that's one of the most. I know it's a minus the favorite, but I think that's one of the best value plays just for straight up money all day is to take Steve Urseg. Just money, I would take like 160. So I'd easily at
Yeah,
least put
what
a unit
is
and
he
a
right
half on
now?
that. It says on ESPN
155
Bet
on
for
my
eBet.
book.
Yeah, it says minus 160 here, plus 135 Carcara France. I'll take minus 160 Steve Urseg all day. He's a bigger dude, fresher. He just arguably beat Pantoja. UFC obviously backed him because what was he? He was like the 11th ranked guy when he got the title shot. So
Yeah, it's
UFC's
him or
obviously got those guys
Makayev.
back. Yeah, no one wants to see that.
Him or Makayev.
Yeah, R.I.P. Makayev. Have fun at the being a Cage Warriors fighter.
PFL. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
Carcara France. He TKO'd last fight. He's got like almost a year and a half off at this point. Smaller dude. I don't know. He's a brawler. You know what I mean? He's got a chance just because of the way he fights. He's got a little bit of a JDM to him, but I don't know. I just don't think he's gonna take it home. I got Steve Urseg all day. I guess they're both
yeah,
hometown fighters. That's Steve Urseg more. I'll take that all day. Bigger dude. Just looks like a chill guy
I
that'll he'll take this home. I think it's the best value part in
yeah,
the fight.
I really like the under 2.5 at plus 200 in that fight. I think there's going to be a finish. I'm not saying that there has to be. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I'm saying at that value plus 200, I could very well see a finish in this fight.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I
Urseg's a
mean,
finisher. Kai Car France has gotten finished.
it's tough
So
with flyweights just because all their fucking fights go to decision. It's like a women's fight, but I
you
don't
would
hate it.
think that.
I mean, I
You
plus
would think
200.
that.
Plus 200, I don't hate it. I mean, that's actually pretty good. That's actually really good odds, honestly, for two guys that have finishing power for both sides,
I'm
honestly.
pretty sure the flyweight under has hit more than the flyweight over in the last 12 months, but who am I to say?
Pulled that out of his ass.
Didn't listen to one of my guys at
Like,
base talk about it.
yeah, so you could even, honestly, I'd almost take,
Spit it out.
fight goes the distance. I'm looking at the odds right now. I got it pulled up on ESPN Bet. You've got fight goes to distance, no at plus 180 or under 2.5 at plus 205. I would just honestly say it doesn't go to distance and just get the extra 2.5 minutes. The guys are flyweights. They'll probably fuck around for the first round and not really do much. So I think if you're gonna do, I would just do it doesn't go the distance. Just take the extra 20 cents and take that bullet just so you get the full fight.
Yeah.
But I can see it both
Yeah,
ways,
that's
honestly.
fair.
I don't hate a finish play, especially with that double your money like that. I don't hate that at all. I agree. Yeah, we're riding Steve Ursay together. All right.
Yeah.
The battle for the African King. Battle of Wakanda here. We've got Israel Adesanya and Dricus du Plessis in Australia. Israel, he's got to bring it back. He's a little retarded. This guy has no
My
shame.
glorious king.
This guy has no
This
shame.
Saturday, he is winning his belt back. And when he does, and he knocks Dracus out, round 2, 3, can't say that. When he gets his belt back, will I be in the chat rooms? Will I be in the Reddit chat rooms talking my shit? Will I be in the Instagram comments talking my shit? Will I be in the Twitter comments telling him how great he is? He doesn't know me. He doesn't have to. I know him. Okay? He's winning his belt round 2 KO. Book it.
All right, you heard it here. I agree, honestly. I mean, I understand all the Drickus hype. I understand. I know everything about Israel
I know.
Adesanya, but I gotta ride Izzy, especially at even money. It looks like it's actually moved down now. I know Israel's like minus 130 all week, and now it looks like it moved down to minus 115. Drickus at minus 105. I'll just keep letting that Drickus money pour in, and I'll probably take Israel like the day of the fight. If it keeps moving this way, I'll just wait for it to become plus money or even. I don't hate Israel here, honestly. I think that he's a crafty fighter. Obviously, he's a technical guy. I just think that honestly, I agree. You know, this guy got a DWI against Strickland like 2 weeks before the fight. It doesn't
Gotta
really seem like he was
respect him for
taking it
that.
seriously. Yeah, I respect a DWI from every guy. I feel like every great fighter's got a DV, a DWI, a pop hot at some point. It's just the
Some
way the road of the UFC goes with these guys. It seems like it's inevitable. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can break down this fight really easily. Round 1, gets his read, picks him apart, finds his jab, unlike the Strickland fight. Yeah, DDP, late takedown. People get hyped. Second round, picks him apart, leg kick, failed takedown by DDP. Chinny Tard comes in, gets hurt, panic wrestling, flies down, goes for a double leg, gets kneed in the chin, flies back, knockout, Izzy, round 2, book it.
I don't hate it. I mean, one thing you got to respect about Israel Adesanya, and with some of these top tier MMA guys, UFC champions and stuff like that, they have this like one of one retard complex that like especially Israel Adesanya. This guy's got a card too. You gotta respect the guy with Israel Adesanya. You know he's got that like anime retard complex where like his life's a movie, and like when he played like the Headstrong when he walked out to beat Alex Pereira in their second fight in the UFC. You know, he's got this like mentality where like he's got to come back. You know what I mean? And that's like it's pretty retarded. Don't get me wrong, but you got to respect it. I think that it's one of those things where it's like if you're just that delusional and he's built all this shit up in his head, and he's got the knockout power and stuff like that. I gotta go with Israel Adesanya here. I think that especially at even money, I'll take Israel Adesanya all day to defend his belt again or to get his belt back again.
Yeah, I mean, you know he has that dog in him,
Yeah, and more
literally.
anyways. But yeah, so we agree on that. Israel Adesanya will beat Dricus du Plessis. I agree inside the distance. Let's look at those odds for yeah, so Israel Adesanya is a small favorite minus 115. Fight goes the distance is favorited at no minus 140. Over under money at minus one under 4.5 rounds at minus 130. I don't really hate that. I mean, I feel like someone's got to get finished here. I don't think I can see this fight going 5 rounds, especially the way Dricus fights, the way Izzy fights. Obviously, Izzy's not afraid to
Izzy,
take a fight to distance, but Dricus, he obviously went the distance with Strickland, but I think a guy like Adesanya, unless du Plessis is going to be crotch sniffing all game and all fight and just be, you know, sniffing his dick the whole fight. I don't see this fight going the distance. I don't hate under 4.5. I think one of these guys will get finished here.
Izzy to win inside the distance, plus 260.
Solid
Don't hate
odds.
that.
Yeah, if I mean
Don't hate
any
that.
Izzy bets, I would just sit on until like the day of the fight and just keep letting that Dricus 2+C money roll in and just strike at like the last moment, honestly. Unless you start seeing going back
Yeah,
the other way. But the way it's looking right now, I'll sit and wait for Israel Adesanya odds to just keep going up before I bet it.
for sure.
So yeah, all right. My parlay of the week or my parlay of the fight card is it'll be Prates, Mateus Gamrot, and Steve Ursag, all three just to win straight up, nothing crazy. Two minus 300 guys and a minus 160 guy should get you somewhere near probably like plus 150 money, somewhere right around there. That'd be my lock parlay of the card. What is your parlay of the card, group?
Yeah, I got Rosenstruck, Prates, Gamrot, pretty similar. That would give you, I mean, I bet 50 to win 80, give you about that. So, pretty solid odds. Got to take those. I can appreciate that bet. I really like all three. Those are my three favorite. Gamrot, I think, is pretty much a lock. Prates gonna murder Lee, unfortunately. Rosenstruck, technical kickboxer against a brawler with no chin. Heads up.
Awesome, I like it, man. Obviously, we disagree on the Rosenstruck fight, but I can see it both ways. Awesome. Well, this has been our UFC 305 picks for every fight on the card, early prelims all the way up. Group, thanks for joining me on MMA Flatline, UFC 305.
Boris, thanks for having me.
We'll do a fight breakdown either Sunday or Monday. We'll come up with a video with a fight breakdown of everything that happens during UFC 305, and we'll hit you guys back up then. Thanks for watching.